to our Chancellor, Dr. Linda P. Santiago, to the Dean of the College of Education, Dr. Evelina M. Vicencio, to our beloved Principal, Dr. Neva J. Discipolo, to the University Registrar, Director Erwin E. Bermilio, to the President of the UE Alumni Association, Ms. Jocelyn R. Malano, our guest speaker, Ms. Sharon Tan, to the university officials, teachers, faculty members, alumni achievers, parents, guests, graduates, and fellow competitors. A blessed afternoon. I consider us the trial and error batch, for we are the first to undergo not only the dynamic learning program, but also the K-12 program. The K-12 program is a program that adds 2 years to our secondary education, wherein we will be able to choose various tracks in preparation for our college education or for work. However, most of you here are against it, because for some of the students, they see it as 2 more years of hard work, while the parents consider it as additional fees to pay. Personally, I am pro K-12, for I believe that its positive effects outweigh the negative. The main goal of the government, as to why they implemented it, is to help the Filipino youth cope up with the international standards to become globally competitive for the progress of the Philippines economy. And here we are, the first ever batch to finish our junior high school, commemorating it through this moving up ceremony with the theme, Transforming the Filipino Youth Towards Philippine Development and ASEAN Integration. Let's give a warm round of applause for our moving up ceremony. It is such a pleasure to be standing here in front of you, for it has already been 4 years since I first set foot in this university. Yet, I still remember the feeling I had back then. I inquired in a lot of schools back in 7th grade. Schools like NU, Manila Science, Bimapa High School, and PUP. Yet, nothing felt like home. It was not until I first entered UE that I felt warmth inside of me. It was the sense of belongingness. And so, after a tiring day of inquiring, I still remember what I said to my mom. I told her, "Mama, gusto ko na sa UE." At first, I was this little awkward caterpillar finding her true self, until UE led me out of my cocoon to become a fully grown butterfly. Entering this university was a decision that started a chain of events in my life. Events that I will never regret. That day just shows that our lives revolve around making decisions. Every day, we make about 35,000 decisions, and no matter how big or small they are, they will affect our whole lives. That is the reason why we are here today. It's simply because we made the decision 4 years ago that we will do whatever it takes for this day to come. Well now, look at where you are. Look at the people around us. Our teachers beaming at the sight of all of us. Our parents looking with pride and honor. And if we can only see ourselves right now, with that huge smile plastered on our faces, and the twinkle in our eyes secretly saying, "I finally made it." That's the beauty of our occasion today. It's the fact that we are celebrating all our years of hard work. Looking back, all of us made decisions that we either regret or were happy to make. Like when we regret our Jedi days, or when we wasted an opportunity, or even when we were really happy to join a certain club, a sport, or an organization. Take my experience as an example. Back in 7th grade, my original plan was not to join Girl Scouting, but rather, I wanted to experience PE class, for I have actually been a Girl Scout since elementary. But after 2 days of attending the said class, I realized that it wasn't made for me. Luckily, there was a second examination for new scouts. And so, I finally decided to join the organization. At first, the only reason I had for staying was because GSP was the only option I had besides PE. But as time goes by, and as I become more active in off-campus activities, I started to love being a Girl Scout, until slowly, it starts to become a part of who I am. When I look back to that moment, I realized that being a Girl Scout was who I am destined to become. That God has actually led me to this path, because without it, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be here standing in front of you. You might wonder, why am I telling you all this? It's just because my experience proves that we might make our own choices, but in the end, our choices make us. Today, we are celebrating our moving up from junior high to senior high. Some might even call this occasion moving on from the past and starting anew. But for me, I'd rather call this moving forward, because this day is the day when we learn from the past and move forward in order for better things to come. This day symbolizes that we are a step closer towards our goals. But with this comes one of the biggest decisions we'll ever make, the track that we will take for senior high. Now, some of us here are 100% sure of what to choose, while some of us are torn between two choices. However, there are some who don't really have an idea of what they want for themselves, maybe because they still don't know who they truly are. Here's an advice. As we go home, we should breathe deeply and think about what we want our future to look like. We should start to contemplate ourselves, search the depths of our hearts, and ask ourselves, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? Because the path that we choose will affect our future. It will affect the course of our lives. And the secret in making the right decision is choosing what makes us happy and not letting the opinion of others affect us. People might tell us that our dreams will get us nowhere, but remember this. They will always have an opinion about us, but we will be the one who will ultimately decide for ourselves. For we're the only one who truly know who we are, we know what we're good at, and we know what we're capable of. And once we've decided, we'll know if that's the right choice when there will be no feeling of anxiety nor uncertainty. There will only be peace in our hearts. Our high school years have been fruitful. We all made little achievements on our own, survived all the problems we've thought we would never get through. And we've all grown up to become better individuals. As we end our junior high and head towards senior high, we are expanding our horizons. We are slowly stepping into the real world. And I can see a world full of possibilities for us. I can see in us the determination to reach for our highest dreams. Although the journey towards success will be a ship in a sea, where there will be times of calm and times of storm, I know that we can always push through it all if we stay focused on reaching our destination. If we were able to achieve this much, I know that we will be able to achieve more. Amidst the tragedies our alma mater has faced, there is still so much to be thankful for, especially to the people behind our success. First of all, I would personally like to thank all the people who came in my life to teach me lessons. Second, I would like to thank all my friends, especially Trisha, Gab, Steph, Tamara, Goma, and Luna, who were there with me through the ups and downs, and were there to always challenge me to do my best. My teachers, thank you for all the lessons you taught me, especially to those who I consider as personal mentors. Ma'am Gonzalez, Ma'am Almeida, Ma'am Alvarez, Ma'am Gueco, and most importantly to Sir Gonzalez. Thank you for bringing out the best in me. Thank you for always believing in me, and thank you very much for inspiring me. Everything you've imparted me with will always be in my heart. To Einstein, thank you guys for being a family for 3 years. All the memories we made, the success we all had, the relationship we had built will always be remembered. I hope that we'll remain friends even as we go our separate ways. I know that we can all make it. I believe in all of you guys. And remember that I love you all. To my parents, who have always pushed me to my limits, the ones who always believed in my capabilities, the ones who supported me with everything, Mama, Papa, I offer this achievement to you. Thank you for everything. I love you. Lastly, I want to thank the Lord because He guided me through it all. He was my strength, and His blessings are the reason why I am here today in front of you. Decisions make or break you. The choice we'll make for senior high is the first step towards building our own success. And when it comes to success, here is my personal message to all of you. Success is not measured by how rich we've become or how luxurious our life is. It is measured by what we were able to contribute to the world and how much we've inspired the lives of others. The change that we want to see starts with us. Our government has a vision for the development of our country, and that vision will only come to life if we are willing to do that part. All of us here can make two choices. One, we can either choose to be an asset for our country, or two, we can choose to be one of its problems. And like Mahatma Gandhi once said, be the change you want to see in this world. As I end this speech, I want to leave you with a quote, and it says, "We all die. The goal is not to live forever. The goal is to create something that will." Once again, congratulations, graduates and fellow completers. Let's give a warm round of applause for ourselves, for our parents, for our teachers, and for everyone who was behind us through it all. Thank you, and God bless.